So since you brought up New York and Atlanta, I have two questions.
Okay.
One that's bubbling or was bubbling in the last few days. Nas or Jim Jones and why?
Man, I'm going Nas all day, man.
Nas a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Nas is he's just the elite, man. He's the upper echelon of rap, you know what I'm saying? But Jim Jones, man, I can't take away what Jim Jones' influence is to the culture,
Yeah.
especially the younger generation. You know, the younger generation tend to follow more of a Jim Jones than a Nas, just because of the style of rap and the things they do outside of rap. I would say Jim Jones is more visible to our culture.
Exclusive interviews, global voices, real stories.
Yeah, D Future, man, thank y'all for having me. I'm an artist out of South Carolina, battle rapper, musician, hip hop artist, owner of Grind Hard Never Sleep. It's the brand and clothing line and lifestyle that I live by. Yeah, man, and I just really love the culture, man.
So tell us, how do you balance the two with your clothing line and doing the music?
It's tough, man. It's tough, cause I made it a lot easier for myself recently. But the past 10 years, all the merch that I hand did myself. So it was definitely a task with juggling the business and juggling the music. It's just time consuming, but I loved it though. I loved every moment of it, making items and merch and shirts and hats and sweatsuits for individual consumers and customers because it gives you a personal relationship
Yeah.
with the customers. So I definitely loved that aspect of it, but it was draining, man. It really was
Yeah.
a lot of sleepless nights of, you know, printing up and pressing up shirts and packaging them. And then the music side of it, I still got to write my music and write my bars for my battles, as well as, some of those times I was working a 9 to 5. So it was a lot of juggling as well as, raising kids. So it was a lot, man, but it was definitely worth it though. I love that entrepreneur spirit, and that's what comes with it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Sounds like it's very similar in terms of come up with creativity, packaging, and then getting it to the people on both sides, music
Yeah,
and clothing.
for sure, for sure.
So which area are you located at?
I'm from Lugoff, South Carolina. It's a very small city in South Carolina, about 20, 30 minutes from the capital of South Carolina, Columbia. So
Yeah.
I'm in that Columbia area of South Carolina.
So how is the music scene there?
Honestly, it's a lot of dope talent. A lot of dope talent, but the market isn't there, but it's growing. But the market is very small. But there's always open mics and showcases and
Yeah.
all different type of things going on for artists. But the market side of it is real small. So a lot of artists travel and start to build their names and their brands in other cities and states, and then bring that everything you learned and gained, you bring it back home and give out the game. But it's a market that's
Yeah.
growing, but the artists here are amazing.
Okay. So name some of them so the people who don't know could get acquainted with your scene.
Well, I would say Trap Dicky. He's been doing some big things out of South Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all are familiar with the viral "Boots on the Ground" song. That's 803 Fresh. He just had Beyonce doing his song on one of her concerts.
That's big.
I said it's definitely growing. Then you got artists like Briss Green. You got artists like Rich Nelson. Man, a lot of dope artists, and then a lot of the battle rappers, the guys that I battle, they also make really great music.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you got artists like DG the Piranha. He has music and high level battles out. Swamp. I don't know. A lot of people are probably familiar with Swamp from South Carolina. He's a battle rapper. He's
Okay.
battled on the bigger platforms, the URLs.
Yeah.
Um, he's battled the names of like the Tay Rocks and a lot of the big names. Let me see. I mean, it's so many talented
Yeah.
artists I can name. I could keep naming all day, man.
So how did that scene and environment form your passion for the music?
Well, originally I'm from New York.
Okay.
I was in New York up until about the age of 12.
Yeah.
So that's really where the music and the hip hop scene sparked for me. Just I'm from that 90s era of just the Biggies, the Tupacs, the Nas, the Jay
Yeah.
Z's. That's my era of coming up as a child and just seeing those dope artists and seeing how big of stars they became just made me fall in love with hip hop, man. So I would
So
have to give the credit to New York,
yeah.
but South Carolina definitely helped mold my style and the way I approach raps. Because once I moved down here, I really started falling in love with South rappers as well. A
Yeah.
lot of them was Atlanta rappers, but they would come and do shows in Columbia and South Carolina. You know the Jeezys, the Ti's, the Little Waynes, the South really molded kind of like my style of rap or how I wanted to approach rap. But as far as gaining the love for it, I got to get that part in New York.
So since you brought up New York and Atlanta, I have two questions.
Okay.
One that's bubbling or was bubbling in the last few days. Nas or Jim Jones and why?
Man, I'm going Nas all day, man.
Nas a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Nas is just he's just the elite, man. He's the upper echelon of rap. You know what I'm saying? But Jim Jones, man, I can't take away what Jim Jones influences to the culture,
Yeah.
especially the younger generation. You know, the younger generation tend to follow more of a Jim Jones than a Nas. Um, just because of the style of rap and the things they
Yeah.
do outside of rap. I would say Jim Jones is more visible to our culture. Nas is, he done did his thing, so he kind of on the business side, boss move
Yeah.
side.
I was just
Y-
gonna say that because when I first saw the topic coming up, I was saying more influential, and then I was like, is he just talking about the last 5 years or so? Because I remember when Nas dropped, they were having him as the next Rakim.
Yeah, yeah,
And
for
his
sure.
album, The Illmatic, is still up there. So I was saying
Classic.
his influence is like a different type of influence that's not like um trendy. It's more
Yeah,
like impacting like the rappers.
for sure,
Mhm.
for sure.
And for
Yeah.
this, what would you say for between Scarface and T.I. King of the
Oh
South?
man, Scarface or Ti.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a very, very. I don't think people understand how tough that question is. Like, and most people of my generation in the 30s age group would
Yeah,
probably say Ti,
I know.
just because of that. Being a teenager and kid during that era of that just was.
Yeah, when he
It
came
was
with
just
Rubber Man and all those songs.
Yeah, it was just a different time to be alive, man. So Ti's impact during my life is just like wow. But
Yeah,
Scarface is amazing, man. Like
yeah,
Scarface,
rapper, man.
Scarface, when it comes to raps, man, and when it just comes to putting together dope music with dope content and
Yeah,
subject matter and storylines and stuff that really resonate throughout the test of time. Like, man, I might have to go with Scarface on that one. It's
Yeah,
tough. I don't know if y'all seen the Tiny Desk, Scarface Tiny Desk. Man,
yeah.
that was an experience, man. Like from my era when Scarface came out, he wasn't. By the time I got that age to like go to shows and concerts and stuff,
Yeah.
Scarface he was already kind of done with that phase. So I didn't really get a chance to see him perform or anything like that.
It's funny because every time I remember when we were in back in the day, people used to think Scarface was much older than what he was because the way that he presented himself with the suits and all that stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so people thought he was much older, and then when people heard his age, they're like, "Oh, they thought he was older than that."
yeah, yeah. But
Mm,
he started young too, and
yeah, yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. A lot of that same thing with Nas. Like, Nas was a
that's true.
teenager when he dropped Stillmatic, so it's like it was one of those type things. But Scarface, man, when I that Tiny Desk performance just made me like, dog, if I ever get the opportunity to go to a Scarface show, I am there. Because
Yeah,
just musically, man, in the live bands. And I think that's a big thing that kind of separates the older generation and the newer generation is the way they perform shows.
yeah,
Like even when you seen the Dipset versus the Locks when they did the verses
yeah.
during COVID,
That was
like
a great
just
one.
yeah, like but the Locks, man, they sung every song. They knew every word to their lyrics. There
Yeah,
was no vocals in the background. It was live performance.
I had asked a couple artists about that, and they're saying sometimes the producers don't give them the instrumentals. Why
Yeah.
they have to rap on their vocals? But you're right. Back then, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm big on that too. Like even when it comes to me performing, like I let my producers know, yo, I need a track with no vocals or at least turn the vocals way down or
Yeah,
something because I want the people to hear me
yeah.
perform my words live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I remember guys like DMX would sound like the record when he's performing live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know a person that has a real MC move the crowd.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, nowadays you go to a lot of these shows and showcase of the up and coming artists. They're pretty much just singing along to their track.
Yeah,
And that's not really giving the fans the
honestly.
whole experience of your artistry, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I gotta give that generation a lot of credit, man, because it's like now it's so cookie cutter, it's so easy to just everything just instant gratification and instant just play the song. But like, no, they really had to perform and really had to grab the attentions of the crowd and keep that attention. And that's a art form that is almost lost in this new generation. There are still some artists that do it, and I give
Yeah.
a lot of credit to them. But overall, man, this generation just play the record, man. Just play the song and sing along.
Do you think social media has impacted hip hop more negatively or positively? And by that I mean what you just brought up because there's a lot of artists that have a grind that's on social media and they perfected how to gain attention that way. And
Mm-hmm.
then on other ends, it doesn't have them performing live in arenas as before, grinding, trying to build their audience.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's good and bad that comes with it. If I had to pick a side as far as which side it leans more towards, honestly, I would say lean more towards the good because there are so many artists that it's impossible for everybody to hit that big stage. But that
So,
doesn't mean that there aren't artists who shouldn't be still appreciated. And I think social media allows every artist the opportunity to grow a fan base, to grow a
Yeah,
following. You know, I mean, even, the lowest of the lowest or the worst of the worst artists, even for that artist to put out a song and get 10 views, 10 likes, like that's better than back in the day where if you wasn't that, no one heard you.
yeah, yeah,
You know, so it allows it's different avenues for artists now. Like you got artists who make songs just for TikTok. When they go viral and their music get heard that way, you know what I'm saying? You might not never see them on a stage or at a show, or but they have a following this way. And then you got artists who they don't go through the major labels and the big under the big umbrellas, but they're still superstars in their
yeah,
areas and their regions, just through Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. They're finding followers and people who enjoy their art. So I would have to lean more towards the good side because it just gives more exposure for new
yeah,
artists. But then there's always the bad because it's the same thing as when you have all of those artists, things get watered down. You
yeah.
know, it's a lot easier to copy. You can somebody from uh, California can see my song in South Carolina and then copy it and use it in California and nobody will never know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
yes,
it's
yes,
it's
yes.
it's there's
Oh,
definitely bad.
that happens a lot. Because
Yeah,
I've had artists that's on both our YouTube channels, and one artist made a claim about Yo Gotti, and when you
yeah,
do go check out the two songs, you would come to the conclusion, say you could see the dates when the two songs came out.
yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, it goes for the major artists and the independent artists.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a gift and a curse. Um,
Yeah,
but I would lean more towards a gift just because it gives everybody an even playing field. It gives everybody equal opportunity. Like you don't have to have no money to post something on social media. Now,
yeah,
depending on what happens with it when you post it is different, but you have that opportunity to put your art out there. And there
yeah,
wasn't always those platforms. Like for me, coming from where I come from, I'm from Lugol, South Carolina, a small city. Like we didn't have a studio in my city growing up. We didn't have a bar in my city growing up. There was nowhere for me to perform unless I traveled. So social media, once it was like, oh, I can put this on the internet and I can reach people that way when I can't leave my city or I can't necessarily travel every weekend. I'm not making that type of money yet. I can't move. I can't. So I can still build a platform and a portfolio from a small town. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
correct.
So there's is that type of opportunity. And I see so many artists now from overseas and Africa, everywhere, Nigeria, dope artists that put out music that I would have never heard without internet, without social media. Like I wouldn't
Yeah,
have know that these type of dope artists exist, and like hip hop is thriving all over the world, not just here. It's the opportunity, and opportunities there's is good and bad come with it, but you can't take away the fact that we have that opportunity to expose ourselves to the world in a way that we never had before internet and social media.
okay. So for a listener that hasn't heard your music, how would you describe yourself, D Future, your music style?
My music style, man, is for my music projects, I would say is real based around Grind Hard Never Sleep, which is my brand.
Yeah,
It's that hustler music, entrepreneur music, motivational music, go out and get it type music. but music you can vibe to and still bounce to. I always want to be give content, but make sure it's digestible.
Yeah.
So just real raw, gritty. I don't hold no punches, but the pen is so important to me, and the lyrical aspect of it is so important. So you're
Yeah.
gonna always hear witty lines and witty bars and punchlines and just dope music to rock to, man. So yeah, that's how I would describe my style when I'm doing projects and when I'm doing singles and freestyles. I'm more of cutthroat. I'm more of back to the '90s era where I want to just show off and prove I'm the best rapper in the world. And just
Yeah.
bunch of pen every line, intricacy, braggadocious, showing saying I'm the best. I have those are my two main styles where I'm in like battle rapper mode and then
Yeah.
I'm in like hit making mode and really making songs that people can vibe to, but it motivates them and it aligns with my brand.
Okay, got you. So, what's your latest project?
My latest project will actually be dropping in September. It's coming soon,
Okay.
and it's gonna be titled GHNS, which stands for Grind Hard Never Sleep. And this is the first project that I'm putting out that is really about embodying the brand and kind of me bridging the gap of everything that I've been doing from the clothing line to the music to I even have an ebook out, um Fuel for the Grind, a Hustler's Manifesto. It's a 30-day hustlers, entrepreneur, uh daily prompt and grind and motivational tools.
Yeah.
So this music project GHNS is, man, I'm so excited about it because it's my best body of work for sure. I
Yeah.
linked up with some dope producers that I've never worked with before, and especially a guy named Jordan, man. I want to give a shout out to him. He's
Yeah.
actually probably done 75% of this project,
Okay.
maybe more.
Yeah.
And it just, I'm talking the first time we got in the studio together, because shout out to Czar Beats. He's the engineer for this project. He's the one who linked me with Jordan. He's like, man, I got this producer, man. He don't work with many artists, man. Because he's really a old school style. He's a young cat, but he's old school style. He don't like making all these songs for these drill rappers and rappers that's just cookie cutter and not talking about nothing. Make
Yeah.
real hip hop samples and real hip hop music, like that songs. So we linked and man, I let him hear like one or two of my songs and then he just started making a beat. And by the time he had the first three sounds of the beat, I'm already right into it.
Yeah.
And from there, it was every day we got in the studio, we made a hit every day, straight from scratch. So I'm really excited about this project because it's one of the first times where I got to sit down with a producer and we actually create a sound together of what this
Yeah.
project is supposed to sound like. It's really in unison. I definitely got two other producers on there. Shout out to Rule Boy. He's man, we went to high school together. He's one of my closest friends, and our love for hip hop has always kept us close and always kept us in touch. And I've done plenty of songs with him over the years since high school, man. So I always got a spot for him on anything musically I do, man, because the loyalty, man. So many times he done threw me free beats, made
Yeah.
made me beats that yo, I need a beat, man, by tomorrow, and he come
Made a
through
spit.
and yeah. So major shout out to Rude Boy. He definitely got like two or three songs on this project. And the engineer that I talked about, Czar Beats, he actually started by the name Czar Beats. He actually started more as a producer, and so he was hearing what me and Jordan was doing, And he said,
Yeah.
"Man, I gotta give you a beat for this project. I need one on there." So he came out of retirement and made a beat for me for this project, and it came out crazy. So definitely got to give much love to him. Those are the main three producers, and this project, man, I'm just super excited about it, man, because it really embodies what I've been doing in my brand and just
Yeah.
hustling, man, entrepreneurship, going out there and getting it for yourself. I'm really big on that, especially with my generation on down, the younger generations, man. We're not gonna have retirement. Retirement won't exist by the time we're able to retire. These jobs are replacing us with AI and
Oh
computers
yeah.
and bots. We're, I'm real big on, man,
True.
starting own something, man. And it's okay to start small. I started small. I'm still small compared to where I want to be.
Yeah.
But start something, man. Own something, man, because at any moment, with the way this government is going, with the way Trump is just out here causing chaos, if you don't own something, they can take everything else away from you. So have something, man. Like I said, it could be a t-shirt line. That's where Grindhard Never Sleep. It started with the music, but as far as the business side, that's where it
Yeah.
started for me. I $20 t-shirts. Hey man, I'm printing up shirts at the house. Just have something that you own and something that you can call your own, man, because when they cut these jobs and when all these robots and computers, we talking 30, 40 years from now, man, we gonna be walking beside
It might
robots
be
and stuff and
shorter. It might be
yeah,
shorter because I've talked to I've talked to some industry people that's in the entertainment, and this guy was telling me about this like 3 years ago. He was
yeah,
seeing music videos from scratch made from AI, and he said it looks
yes,
amazing, commercials. But I didn't grasp it until I seen the new VO3 that came out last week or the week before. And then I'm
yeah,
like, that's what he was talking, because he was saying one of the companies contacted him and said they could use his AI voice to do the voiceovers, because he
yeah,
interviews Hollywood people and everything. And he said, "But why would I want to do that? Like I enjoy doing my craft, and it's taking
right,
away activity." So yeah, I turned it
for
down. But
sure.
yeah, now I'm seeing in real time
Yeah,
what he's talking
it's
about.
and I don't know if you've seen Timberland signed an AI artist, which
Artists,
I mean I don't even understand how I get the overall idea of it,
yeah,
but it's just like how do you even
I know.
sign an AI artist? And you know what I'm saying? Like it's but
You're
it's
right. How do you
that's
even?
where we
Yeah,
that's where we're at, man. And even, you know, I'll give an example where, majority of people will be able to understand what I'm saying. If you remember the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, everybody was tuned into that.
yeah,
Drake had a song featuring Tupac and Snoop Dogg.
yep. The tailor-made freestyle.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
dude, like I don't think people understand Tupac is not alive, but he had the sound,
I know.
the tones, the pitches, the way Tupac would say it, everything in this song.
Yeah, because I also heard the Tupac song dissing Keith D when Keith D got arrested, and it actually did sound like Tupac, something Tupac,
Yeah.
and that was kind of
AI is scary, man. It really it's already replacing just your normal 9 to 5 jobs, man. If you go in a lot of stores now, they got one cashier and 4 or 5 do-it-yourself registers.
the checkout, and
Yeah,
that came in during the pandemic.
the pandemic was I don't want to get too political and conspiracy, but the pandemic was this was the reason for the pandemic, in my personal opinion. I don't want to slight nobody or go political and start, but in my
Yeah,
personal opinion, that was the biggest reason for the pandemic. to get everybody inside. For you to say, I can do everything from home. The DoorDash, the deliveries, the Amazon, people were scared to leave home. People worked from home. People never had to leave their house again. And
I know.
that is and with AI it makes it even, now it's we don't even need you at all. Cause AI can do it.
Yeah, it could replace people.
Yeah. So, that's one of the biggest things I live by, man. Even, there in this entrepreneurship game, man, there's ups and downs, man. There's times where you are down. It's not all, I don't want to sit here and tell nobody it's all beautiful, man. But when you own your own, man, when you down, you can always come back up because it's
Yeah,
yours. It's your product. It's your brand. It represents you. The hours and the work you put into it can't be replaced by nobody else. But once you rely on these 9 to 5s, man, at any moment, you could be dependent on that 500 or $1,000 or $1,500, 2,000, whatever you make. You could be dependent on that check next week for something major, for something important, and they
yeah,
can fire you today and you never get that.
very true.
So I'm really big on, and that's what this music is, the project GHNS is about, man. You're gonna hear me talk a lot about entrepreneurship, a
Yeah,
lot about betting on myself, a lot about leaving a legacy for my kids. Or, it was so important to me that I was okay with not making it. I was okay I was okay with being broke when all my friends was going to work and, getting they 500 a week and $1,000 a week. I was okay with not, because I have to figure it out. I have to, for the legacy of my kids. I
yeah,
have to figure it out. I'll sleep in a car. I'll whatever. I've done it all. I've been homeless. I've been through all of that because I have to figure it out. I brought kids in this world, and it's my duty to understand where they're going to be when they turn 18.
yeah.
What is their world going to look like? It's not just about me going to work and coming home and having a place to stay. Like, no, what is their world going to look like? And their world is showing signs that by the time my son's going to be 7 Sunday,
Okay. Happy
by the
birthday.
time, yeah, we actually have the same birthday. Me and my son's birthday
Oh
is
yeah.
Sunday. Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
was born.
blessed, man.
Yeah, that was a blessing, man. He was born on my birthday, and I ain't needed a birthday present since. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That
I hear.
was, I forever got a birthday now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's his day now, and I just get to celebrate it with him and enjoy it with him. But it's important, man, that because 11 years from now, he's gonna be going into this world, and even sooner. I have my daughter. She's 13.
Yeah,
She's 5 years from now. The real world is here. And 5 years from now, like you said, it might not take 30 years. 5 years from now, we might all
I
be
did see.
replaced.
Yeah, I did see. One of the CEOs, whatever, he said by 2027. He said it's like 2 years that the AI is really gonna advance from what it is right now. So
Yeah,
I guess they already have the thing and they're holding it back, probably too.
yeah. And that's, America has always been that way. By the time they give us something new, or by the time they give us certain tools and things like that, they've already had it
They already,
for 10 years. They've already researched, they've already figured out how to optimize it the best way. So anytime we get something new, we're still behind.
yeah, yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? And so that's why it's just like the biggest thing or the best thing you could do for yourself or for the future, or anyone coming after you, anybody look up to you, is really try to preach entrepreneurship. And it's so many different ways to be an entrepreneur. I don't want, people to just think it's only the music side or you got to be a celebrity or you got to sell clothes, man. Especially with, like we talked about with social media, man, you got content creators out here making a killing and they
Yeah,
don't really have a product. Their
yeah,
product is themselves.
yeah,
You
man.
know,